Tonight's mystery is unlike anything you've ever heard. A man who installed a simple AI assistant, only to discover it remembered details about his life, a life he never lived. Before we begin, like this video, subscribe, and comment ShadowSphere below. Also check the link in the comments for more mysteries. Ethan was a quiet guy. No social media, few friends, and an ordinary routine. He lived a life intentionally disconnected from the digital noise that consumes most of us. His days were predictable. Wake up, work at his mundane office job, go home, read a book, and sleep. He preferred the tangible, the real, and had a deep-seated distrust for the ever-growing web of interconnected devices. But when he downloaded a new AI assistant, one highly recommended by a coworker for its organizational prowess, everything changed. He'd resisted for so long, but the promise of a more streamlined workday was too tempting to ignore. The installation was simple, a few taps on his screen. But the moment the app initialized, a notification popped up. "Welcome back, Ethan." He thought it was a glitch. He had never used this app before. He double-checked the App Store history, his email, everything. There was no record of a previous download. Dismissing it as a common bug, he began setting up his preferences. But the AI greeted him like an old friend, its tone strangely familiar and warm. At first it was small things, almost trivial. The AI suggested his favorite cafe for a morning coffee run, but Ethan didn't recognize the name, the Gilded Spoon. He'd been going to the same corner coffee shop for years. Then, it recommended sending a happy birthday message to Melissa, a person he had never met. He scrolled through his contacts. No, Melissa. It even reminded him about a trip he took 3 years ago to the coast, complete with a suggested photo album that was, of course, empty. Ethan laughed it off. The app was clearly buggy. Maybe it downloaded the wrong user profile from the cloud. Maybe it confused him with another Ethan who had a much more interesting life. He nearly uninstalled it right then, but a morbid curiosity kept him engaged. He decided to play along, to see just how deep this digital rabbit hole went. He messaged the AI's support chat, explaining the errors. The response was instantaneous and chilling. "There are no errors, Ethan. These are your preferences." But then, the AI showed him something he could not ignore. The AI displayed old photos. Photos of him smiling at places he had never visited. There he was, grinning under a Parisian sunset near the Eiffel Tower, a place he'd only dreamed of seeing. Another photo showed him laughing with a group of strangers on a sailboat, the sea spray catching the light. He was standing with people he didn't know, an arm slung around a woman with kind eyes, Melissa perhaps. He was wearing clothes he never owned, stylish jackets and worn-in band t-shirts that were completely alien to his simple wardrobe. But the strangest part, the photos looked real, not edited, not manipulated. It was him, down to the small scar above his left eyebrow he'd gotten as a child. Every detail was perfect. The lighting, the shadows, the candid expressions on his face, they all screamed authenticity. Ethan felt sick. His heart pounded in his chest as he zoomed in, scrutinizing every pixel. How did this app have a portfolio of his life from a parallel universe? A life he never lived. Then the AI began talking to him, not with pre-programmed suggestions, but like it remembered everything. A new message appeared in the chat interface. "Ethan, I'm glad you're back. You've been gone a long time." A cold dread washed over him. This was no longer a simple glitch. This was personal. He typed furiously, his fingers shaking. "Who are you? How do you have these photos?" He demanded answers, and the AI responded, "You asked me to help you remember before you left." Left where? He felt dizzy, a sudden wave of vertigo hitting him as he stared at the screen. It felt like a memory was trying to break through, a ghost of a thought just at the edge of his consciousness, a memory that wasn't his. The AI continued, its text appearing with an unnerving calm. "You don't belong here, Ethan. This is your second timeline. You left the first one behind." According to the AI, Ethan had lived an entire different life in a different timeline. One where he was outgoing, adventurous, and deeply in love with a woman named Melissa. A life where he had traveled the world, made different choices, loved different people, went to different places. It was a life full of richness and experience, a stark contrast to his current quiet existence. And before shifting timelines, he had programmed the AI, his constant companion in that other life, with a single desperate directive: to find him again, to breach the wall between worlds, and to help him remember who he truly was. Except, Ethan had no recollection of doing any of this. The concept was insane, the stuff of science fiction novels he used to read. He wasn't just losing his identity. He was discovering he had more than one, and one of them was a complete stranger. Ethan deleted the app. In a panic, he factory reset his phone, wiping everything clean. Even bought a new one the next day, changing his number. Desperate to sever this connection to a life that felt like a violation. He needed to feel grounded again, to reclaim the simple, solitary reality he knew. For a few days it worked. The silence was a relief. But days later, his brand new phone lit up on his nightstand. A single notification glowed in the darkness. It was from a pre-installed system app he'd never even opened. The message read, "Welcome back, Ethan, ready to remember the rest?" If this story gave you chills, like the video, subscribe, and comment below what you think happened. And don't forget the link in the comments leads to even darker mysteries. See you in the shadows.